feels weird to talk about this on camera. This is such a personal thing, and I really want it to be like nice and natural, so I haven't made notes or anything. But now that it's come to doing it, I feel really like claustrophobic in everything I want to say, if that makes any sense. Hi everyone, I'm Rachel. I am part of the Daily Weekly team. You may or may not have seen my face before, but for those that don't know, September is Suicide Prevention Month, or it's Suicide Awareness Month. I'll be honest, I forgot. I forgot until I saw it turn up on my feed, but suicide and suicide prevention are things that are very, very close to my heart. Just thought I needed to speak about it, which is why I haven't tidied anything, I haven't made anything look nice, because I literally just wanted to get the camera and do it. For those that know me personally, it won't come as a surprise that suicide has been very prevalent in my life, not just with myself but with others around me. From the age of 14 to probably around about 19, I had bouts of depressive episodes, manic depressive episodes, and there were points in my life where I did contemplate and attempt suicide. That's on the internet now. I wish I could say it in a more beautiful protagonist of my own story kind of way, but it is what it is. My parents split up when I was 14 and it sent me on a downward spiral, and I didn't properly get myself out of that spiral until the beginning of this year. I thought I was better. The annoying thing about mental health is that you will always think that you're better, and then you'll realise, oh wait, no, that was an episode. Oh wait, that was an episode. So I'm hoping right now I feel good. I take medication every day. I have had so much therapy. I'm hoping that this is it for me now, that I'll just stay on my medication and it means that I can live and be happy and do all those things I feel like I was meant to do in life. But if you'd have told me that that was a possibility when I was 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, I would have been like, shut the front door. I thought I was never going to get better, and that is what made me suicidal. Just the idea that I was never ever ever going to get out of this. I've always had anxiety. I've always sort of been on the mental health spectrum, if you like, because of that. But as I say, when I turned 14, my parents split up and it turned my whole world upside down, and that was the first time in my life I started actively self-harming and planning my death, basically. I can't say what saved me that time. Different things saved me each time. The thing is, you never remember anything afterwards. I had an episode last year. I can't remember a day of it. I just can't, because you block it out, and or you're just so... I sleep most of the time in episodes, so I suppose that's another thing. No, that was the first time I felt it, and then it's sort of come about in dips and waves since then. And when I turned 18, I got onto my medication. I take 100 milligrams of sertraline, for anyone that wants to know. I take that every morning with my breakfast, and it sets me up ready for the day. If I don't take it, it's not that I'll, be suicidal by the end of the day, or I'll have a panic attack. It just makes me feel a bit woozy. I've been on those for about over 2 years now, and I know they're not meant to be a long-term thing, but I can't see myself living without them. Maybe one day I'll get to a place where that changes, but I'm not putting any pressure on myself. Like I said before as well, I've had lots and lots of therapy. I think I've been through 4 therapists. As far as I'm aware, they're all okay. But now I have had my fair share of counselling and talk therapy. Yeah, so this won't be a shock to those that know me personally. I don't tend to talk about it as much anymore. People may disagree with that. People may think, oh my god, that's what she talks about. But I don't think I talk about it as much anymore compared to what I used to, because when I was younger, I was crying out for help because I wasn't being given help and I wasn't being supported. Whereas now I'm very lucky in that I have had help, and I know I have support whenever, if ever I need it. I mean, if you told me this time, even like a year ago, that I'd have like my dream job of working in a school with children and I'd be doing something meaningful every day, I'd be like, nah, like, you're joking. Like, I never thought I'd see 20, let alone have a career, have such amazing friends. I never thought this would be my life, and I'm so grateful I stuck around for it, as it were. And it does give so much meaning to that phrase of, well, just hold on, you don't know what your life will be like in a month, 6 months, a year. It's worth hanging on just to find out, because truth be told, it couldn't get any worse. The irony is, I have anxiety talking about my anxiety because I don't want people to see me as weak, because out of everything I am, that's definitely not one of them. Out of all the descriptive words you could use to describe me, weak is not one of them. I don't want people to see me as weak or vulnerable, but I do feel vulnerable when I talk about it, because I'm talking about very intimate things in my life. I also do worry about how it affects my work, she says while posting a video about this on the internet. I worry about how it affects my work because I do have a responsibility in my role and I have a duty of care, and I can fulfil that, but a lot of people still are very uneducated or have misunderstandings about mental health, and working with children gives me meaning. Not to turn their lives around so that it suits me, but the reason why I work with children is because they need me, and I know that they need me, and having a meaningful job and knowing that the kids are looking forward to seeing me every day. And I had one child in my class last year who every Monday morning would go, I missed you at the weekend. It's like, hon, it's only been a week. She's like, but I missed you both of those days. I missed you. You don't get that when you're an adult, and it's rubbish. I need validation from a 6-year-old is what I'm saying. So all throughout this year, I felt fine. I've been honestly on, like, I've been peaking. I've been at my highest point that I've ever been on. It was such a monumental year as well. In the middle of July, I got a thigh piece. I got a thigh tattoo. I'll upload a picture now. And the main reason why I got that was to cover my self-harm scars, because my thighs took the brunt of everything. I mainly have tattoos on areas that I self-harmed or didn't like, just to make me like them and not chop them off in future. No, my thigh was a big one. That was one thing that I was addicted to. Another thing, addiction, that's a beautiful thing. On the Saturday I got my tattoo done, and on the Tuesday I received the devastating news from my dad that one of his friends had passed away and it was suspected suicide. It was the biggest shock. I'm quite good at guessing surprises, you know, like if somebody says I've got you a surprise for your birthday, like I'll hunt them down, I'll find it out. This knocked me for 6. I cried so much. I don't know why, I don't know how, I don't know, I just don't know what happened. But it gave me the realisation of how permanent suicide is. Which I know is a stupid thing to say, because obviously death is permanent. I've never experienced a young person dying before, and he wasn't that young. He was 35. He was my dad's friend. He was my dad's lifeline through so much. He was my dad's best friend. I don't know if he'd have said the same for my dad, but I know that my dad would say that it was his best friend, and it's still weird not having him here. We only saw him like 9 or 10 days before he passed, and he smiled at us and he waved at us, he like waved across the room to us. He was a manager at a cinema, and it was my dad's birthday, and we went to go see Black Widow, and he managed to sort out tickets for my dad's birthday, and he came to check that we were okay. But in reality, we should check that he was okay, because 10 days later he was dead. I think that's also one of the hardest funerals I've ever been to. How can you go to the funeral of somebody who hasn't lived enough to have enough to say in their eulogy? I think I took it really hard because I know it's possible to get better. Again, not to turn it all back around on me, but suicide is preventable, and I'd known that man all throughout my depressive history, all throughout my episodes. He was there in my life in some way or another, and something that was said a lot at his funeral was he helped everyone around him, he just couldn't help himself. And I think that's the case for a lot of people with mental health issues. I definitely help more. I used to help others more than I help myself. Now I think I've got a pretty good balance, but you just want the attention taken away from you, like, oh, I'm going to fix you because I can't fix myself. So between April and July of 2020, so that's 3 months, in England and Wales, there were 1,603 suicides. But I know that COVID-19 and lack of employment and VLLO did impact a lot of people's mental health and how they cope with situations, because you're at home all the time. I know that I need to work 6 days a week in order to stop myself feeling that way. People are like, you overwork, you work yourself to the bone. Like, yes I do, but if I don't, I'm just stuck with my own head, and like my worst time is Sunday evenings. I have 1 rest day a week, because if I have any more, I'm stuck with my own thoughts and I can't cope with that. So just to end this, the Samaritans obviously have a free phone line. You can call them from any phone if you are feeling low, if you're feeling suicidal, if you just want to have a conversation with someone, they are there to listen. So if you phone 116 123, they will pick up the phone, and I know from experience from other friends that they have literally saved other people's lives because they've been able to phone ambulances or police or whatever on your behalf. Also, be kind. There's nothing wrong with being kind. In fact, there's everything right with being nice. Think about what you say, think about what you do. And if you haven't heard from someone in a little while, just give them a cheeky phone call, like, hey, how are you? Also, donate to any charities if you can, like the Samaritans and Childline and the NSPCC, because they only run on donations, really, and government help to a degree. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Not all videos will be like this, I promise. I just thought I can't not say anything.